what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Asia Rugby Live, Real Talk, Real Rugby, and this is our episode 6, I would think. And hopefully everyone is doing okay. Selamat pagi, selamat petang, selamat malam, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And hopefully you are tuning in to listen to us, I guess. So, of course, a few updates for you. I think probably in Malaysia, in the rugby community in Malaysia, we have known one of the rugby legends in Malaysia, which is Dr. Mazat Ismail, passed away earlier this week due to a stroke that he suffered. He's just, I think, in his early 40s. Sad news for that. Rest in peace, and hopefully, God bless his soul. In Malaysia, the rugby community is saddened by this news. And I think because of the Women's International Day, I think it's just appropriate that we have women to be on the show to talk about women stuff. Of course, women stuff and rugby. And because of that, we have two special guests today, which are the rugby ambassadors, which are the unstoppable ambassadors. They are the top 16, which has been shortlisted recently. Mui Thomas from Hong Kong, and Safaa Tedjini from Qatar. Hello guys, hopefully you guys are doing okay. Thank you very much for being on the show, and I think we're going to start with the person who is far away from me, which is Safaa. Safaa, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your rugby journey?
Hello, my name is Safaa, and I never really knew what rugby was at first. Rugby was never a thing. I never heard of it. I've never seen women play. I've seen men play at times, but I never really understood the game. So the first time I played rugby, it was just tag rugby, and I played it when I was around 11 years old in school, and then I never played it again until I would say the end of 2016. I was approached by a friend at school. I used to do lots of sports, so she came to me and my sister and asked us to join a women's team. And the first thing I said was never. I do not want to do that. I do not want the injuries. I don't want to get paralyzed. That's one thing I said. And it was, now thinking of it, it's so wrong. It's far from what rugby actually is. So I didn't want to go the first training, and I didn't go. I remember that. And then my sister came back. She gave it a go, and she came back and told me that it was just touched. It was really fun. The girls were nice. The coach was nice. And I said, well, I should give it a go. So the next training session, I showed up. I didn't know much. I didn't know the rules, but I did play it before. I knew the only thing I knew was you'd have to pass back and run really fast to score. So, so I showed up at training. Coaches were impressed, but still, none of us knew the rules or anything. So we played tag rugby for until 2017, I would say. And we used to train in the same pitch as the boys. So we'd always be training and just like taking off tags. And you take a look on the other half of the pitch, and you'd see boys tackling each other, being physical, lifting each other up in lineouts or doing scrums, kicking the ball. And I said to my coach, why can't we do that? Actually, most of the girls said it. So why can't we do that? We want to do that. We're tired of just touching. We want to hit each other. That's what we want to do. We want to try it out as well. So our coach was very supportive. He had played rugby before, and he's so passionate. So he talked to the federation about it, and they agreed. And since then, we started practicing more contact rugby and playing sevens.
And of course, there's more to it than that. There's a lot of story that you can you tell us probably later, because I have a set of questions for you.
Yeah.
But probably you can tell our viewers, our listeners, what do you do for a living?
I'm still a student right now, and I train rugby as well, like 4 times a week, and that's what I'm doing for now. And hopefully in the future, I would love to just keep doing rugby.
What course are you
Eh,
doing?
Sorry.
What course are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing health and safety.
Nice, nice, nice. That's
Yeah.
really great. And again, thank you very much for being on the show, Safa. Of course, again, I will dig some of the stories, juicy stories
Yeah.
that you shared with me yesterday,
I can't wait
especially.
for that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Really, Safa is some. I think one of the. I would think it's funny, but at the same time, it's a quite serious story that we'll share later. Anyway, uh, to Mui is in Hong Kong. Mui, you are one of the person who is I won't say suffering, that you have this condition, the Harlequin condition that you are going through, and of course, having that is not easy, but you are fighting every day. You are living your life every day with this condition. You are, again, and also involved with rugby, and that's a great thing. So can you share us your story, and also how what's your rugby journey?
So yeah, hi, thanks for having me. So my rugby journey sort of started like when I was really young. So I'm Welsh, so rugby was kind of a thing growing up. My dad would always watch rugby on the TV, and I thought, it was kind of cool. But I think it was only when I think, yeah, so I think it was only when I was about 16, 17, when at my school, because I went to a big rugby playing school. My I kind of like, I wanted to play rugby because I thought it would help me sort of fit in with my peers after going through a lot of personal things. And the thing is, I had a lot of health issues. And so playing rugby was, quite a difficult idea to sort of get anyone's head around. So I've got to give a lot of credit to my parents who were like, just give it a go, just go and see what you can do. So I don't know if many rugby clubs have really heard of someone, who's come down and said, hey, I'd like to get involved. Can I do anything but not play? um, so I was very well received. I actually got started by just helping pick up, water bottles, and, just really sort of sideline work, which was great. It was fun. I
Mhm.
mean, I got to work with a lot of people from Hong Kong, with the Hong Kong Rugby Union. And I think it was 2 years down the line, I was kind of like, I didn't just want to sit around doing paperwork, you know, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, let's see what else there is. And somebody said, oh, why don't you try coaching? And I thought, great idea. There's a slight problem. I as even though I was involved in, the clubs and stuff, I honestly didn't know very much about the game itself.
Mhm.
So, as you do. And so somebody was like, oh, why don't you try refereeing? Because it still allows you to be in the game. You're very unlikely to get tackled. You're not going to get hurt too many times unless you're me. Um, and it was very much, when I started refereeing, when I started doing the course, it was very much it was very much the start of my journey, where I was just involved. And I was happy to be involved in that way, because even though, again, as much as I wanted to play the game, I was still involved because I was still on the pitch.
Hey, that's great, man. And you know what? the thing is the fact that you came down just to get involved without playing. That with your condition you can't play, but you still got involved with the sidelines, and now refereeing
Yeah.
is just great. We need people like you, probably more volunteers to be involved with the game, because without volunteers the game can't just happen
Yeah.
everywhere in the world, definitely. And volunteers are the people who keeps the game alive. So yeah, I think there's a lot of appreciation there for what you have done for the game, especially in Hong Kong. Boy. So cool, you cool, boy. You cool. Yeah, anyway, boy, if you probably you can continue on sharing your what's your unstoppable story. What if you can share with our viewers your unstoppable story, boy?
I think you know I'm a very naive person, so, or maybe not naive, but I think I'm very much a sort of like, a get on. I think because, again, because my parents, very much sort of like just get on and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I must confess that, me being me, I'm not entirely sure what my own unstoppable story is. Because because I've just sort of gotten on with the role, because I've just you know I just don't necessarily take no for an answer. If you ask anyone at Hong Kong Rugby, I think like a lot of them will be like, yeah, she comes up to us, and then, she won't stop badgering us until we give her something to do. um, but no, I'm a very, I think a part of my unstoppable story is that I've got a skin condition,
Mm-hmm.
where I could very easily hide away. And yet, despite all the obstacles, despite not being able to sweat, not being able to run as much as everybody else, I've still found a way to be involved. So, I mean, even though I can't referee a lot of adult rugby, like a lot of adult competition leagues, I still get involved with doing the under 12s refereeing, the mini rugby. I have done a little bit of beach rugby. I've also done, a few things like the sevens and, things like that. So it's all about keeping involved. And it's also about, just pushing the boundaries of what I can do, because this is also something I think which is either a good thing or a bad thing. I don't like to let my condition get in my way. I sort of like do everything I want to do and then deal with all the consequences later.
Oh God.
Well, that you know what? That's great. You are pushing the boundaries of what you can do or what you can't do. But at the end of the day, I think the thing that you seek is happiness. You want to be happy. Am I right?
And I think also, I think not just happiness, but I think it's also acceptance.
Right. Yeah, and self-satisfaction. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
I think you know what?
yeah.
In terms of acceptance, everyone in the rugby community, as you know, and as you have experience, will definitely accept you anytime, anywhere, anywhere in the world. If you, even though you come to Malaysia or if you go to Qatar, everyone will accept you, even though
For sure, 100%.
water girl or referee or whatever. Anyway, Safa, your unstoppable journey is a unique one as well. Uh, can you tell us that story you told me yesterday about the have you
Yeah.
won? Yes. Yeah. So
So a part of my, I would say I'm unstoppable because first of all, hard-headed. Like just like she said, I don't take no for an answer, and especially in like game
yes, I know.
situations and everything, I don't take a no. Like I would listen, but I'm not gonna. I would listen. I would hear your advice, but I'm not gonna go with it. Basically, so in 2018, we had our first tournament and our first international tournament, first ever women's rugby team, and it was for the West Asia in Lebanon. And so we got there, we were very excited, so happy to play. to see other women play, to compete. We're a very competitive team, even with each other. And that's what makes us, that's what helps us get better. Anyway, so the first day we got there, it was fun. The second day it was the first day of playing. So
Mm-hmm.
we played around 3 or 4 games, I would say, and we won all of our games on day one. And it was such a great feeling. Our first tournament ever. Some of the girls with us, first time they've ever played rugby, and it was great. We were so happy about it. The second day was the finals day, and I wasn't that day. I wasn't feeling good the whole day. Like, but I never knew what it was. I thought I was just nervous about playing in the finals and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but it was something completely different. And I played on the first half. First half, played. I think Lebanon were winning at this point, or we were tied. I think we were tied. It was 7-7. Yeah. We had a break. The After the first half, as soon as I started the second half, it was like a few seconds in. I was tackled, and I fell, and I just never got up again. And this time round, it was very weird for my coach, for the medical staff, for everyone to see, because I've always played, I've always fell, I've always gotten up. Even I don't think doctors or any medical staff are gonna want to hear this or would like to hear this, but I've played through concussions even sometimes, but I did get up at the end of the day. Like, I never just stayed there or cried about it or just said I don't want to play. So this time around it was different, and they ran on the pitch, they checked me out, and I just couldn't get up. And I was told by my coach. At this point I was still saying, let me go, I want to play, let me go, I want to play. But I guess they saw something, and they said that I would have to be taken to the hospital. So that happened. I got to the hospital and got checked by a doctor, and he contacted my coach saying that I'm gonna have to go in for surgery, and it's an emergency, like, cannot be delayed. He will not even wait for someone to sign a paper for me to be able to do the surgery or anything. It was very urgent. So I had a head surgery, and it wasn't the easiest on my team or my parents or anyone around me. But to be honest, or my sister especially, but for me, to be honest, like, I was most of the time going through all this, I was either concussed or, like, I wasn't even there. So I can't really remember anything at all. And I was just told stories about all this situation that happened.
Oh, then after that,
Yeah.
after everything happened after the surgery, so what happened? You need to tell that story.
Uh, so I wasn't, apparently, like, when I was going into surgery, I had, obviously it was a head surgery, and I had so much hair, so they had to shave my head to be able to see where it is, where the swelling is, and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just fighting them, telling them, no, don't shave my head, and I was stubborn through the whole thing. And when I woke up, I don't remember this at all, but I was just told this story so many times by my coach. And the first thing I said when I woke up was, "Coach, did we win?" And then he just pulls out the medal, and he shows me the medal, my medal, and he says, "Yes, Safa, we did." And he just told everyone after that. He still tells me after that, like, when we talk about this at times, he just tells me every time I remember it. When you said that, if when that was the first question you asked me, I knew you would be okay. Yeah,
Have you
then
have
I don't even remember anything, but it is me. It is me that would be asking a question like that, instead of am I okay? Why am I here? Nah, I was just worried about the game, about the final, and winning that gold medal.
Your parents must have a tough time with you, huh?
Oh, very tough, very tough.
I-
But they know I'm not. I would listen, but I'm not necessarily gonna like take their advice. Like
right, right.
I would, but this time round, like they would tell me no more rugby, no this. I was like, don't even go with me there because I am gonna play rugby. That's something you do not have a say on. I'm sorry. I know you're my parents, but nah, it can't happen.
Have you been ref by Mui before?
Sorry.
Have you been ref by Mui before? Oh, Mui, we all love you from Doris Chow.
Oh, bless. That is so cute.
Have you been ref by Mui before?
Oh no, never.
Never, no. Probably not yet.
Oh,
Probably not
bless.
yet. And
Yeah.
you know what? Okay,
Hopefully
that
soon.
Yeah,
hopefully
maybe,
when we can cross borders,
maybe if we can travel.
Oh
when we
God,
can
I can't
travel.
wait to travel
That's the
again.
question. When we can travel. Again, we have this
Yes.
return to play in Asia. Oh, so proud of you guys, Mikhail, Pablico. Any
She's one
any
of
of your
my
friends?
teammates.
Teammates. There you go.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you to have the support from from friends and family from Qatar and also Hong Kong and probably all of Asia. Of course, people are giving their support all the way to you guys here in Asia Rugby Live. And I just want to continue on just now with your story, Safa. So after that, after all of that, so are you relieved that you can play rugby again after all that ordeal, all that surgery, parents telling you you're not gonna play rugby again. So
They don't have a say in it, honestly. That's what I tell them every time. Like whatever they tell me, I'm like, okay, yes, I won't do that, and I'll do this, and I'll go to school, and I'll do that. As soon as they just talk about rugby, I'm like, listen, this you don't get it. You don't have a say. I'm sorry. No, you made me, but you don't have a say in this. I am gonna play rugby. But you know what? At the end of the day, like when I played my first tournament back from the surgery, in 2019, it was West Asia as well, and it was held here in Doha. They
uh,
actually, all my family came down and actually supported me through it and everything, and they loved watching it. My mom was scared, but my dad was just taking pictures and videos and being happy.
Love
And
it.
it was the best. It was the best.
love conquers all. Love conquers all. You know what? I think I'm glad that you are able to play again. And again, you guys, what you have been through, Mui and also Safa, both of you guys, the things that you have been through, I can't really imagine. I can't really relate to it, and I'm just in awe of what you guys have been through, and still you guys stick to rugby. You guys turn to rugby to to again to be happy, to be involved. So it's just great, guys, what you guys are doing. And I
That's
hope,
what rugby does.
yeah, yeah,
That's
definitely,
life.
definitely.
What rugby does, honestly.
And I just want to turn to Mui for a second. Just now we were talking about Safa's playing journey, what happened to Safa and everything. For you, Mui, how do you find refereeing enjoyable for yourself? Especially when you want to get involved with rugby, like referees, people scrutinize referees and whatnot. So how do you overcome that? How do you want to get involved with being a referee? Because I'm afraid to be a referee, to be honest.
Um, I'm not gonna lie, like being a referee is quite scary, because obviously when you step out on the pitch, you don't know what to expect, you don't know what's gonna happen, you don't know how the game is necessarily gonna go. So one of the biggest things for me, and I'm sure it is for many referees, is actually dealing with the scrutiny. So, skin condition or not, you're still gonna have to deal with scrutiny on the rugby pitch. Um, and but I think what's really lovely for me is that for me, when I'm on the rugby pitch, I'm just another referee, I'm not somebody who looks different, which is really nice. So that is a big thing for me. And again, I think a lot of people will say that, rugby is very much a team sport. It's very much a team thing, but not unfortunately, but like referees are often very much on their own. But we do still have our little circle of trust. Um, but yeah, I think for me, being a referee is terrifying. It is scary, but I think it also gives me personally that sort of really good, I suppose, a really good venting board sometimes, to run it out, to boss people around, in a way that's healthy, and you won't always get told off about it. I think, it's quite nice that us referees get to do that.
Yeah, for sure, right? The bossing around, especially.
I love
No,
being
I.
bossy. Well, a lot of people,
That's a
a
good
lot
way
of
to put
people
it.
say that I'm really bossy.
Anyway, to
So
our viewers
refereeing
out
is
there,
perfect.
yeah, for sure, for sure. To our viewers out there, if you have any questions for Safa or me, please do comment down below, and we'll try to relay the questions to these guys, so that if you have anything, you have any curiosity, they can answer your curiosity, your questions. Anyway, back to your refereeing me just now. You were talking about your experience and what. Of course, referees being scrutinized, but at the end of the day, I think you can relate to this, and probably Safa, you can relate to this as well. Sometimes I
For
get
sure.
annoyed with the referee on the field, but at the end of the day, what happens on the field stays on the field, and
Yeah,
outside of the field, everyone becomes friends, become the camaraderie is just so great in
yeah.
rugby,
It's
right?
it, it's really strong. It's strong. It's
Yeah.
really strong. Yeah, yeah.
And probably you can share the how the what drives your energy, what drives your positivity to this.
Me or her?
I think
Mui
he's
mui
talking
mui
about you.
mui. Sorry,
Oh,
mui. Yeah.
oh. I think ultimately what drives my energy is number one, the fact that I do get a lot of support from people around me, which is I think a big factor. And also just the desire to get out, the desire to get out onto the pitch and to make your own mark. Because again, every referee is different. Although collectively we all should, I say should, um, collectively we all should know our laws. As I think Christabel said in a previous Asia Rugby Live, we still have to, look through a whole entire law book. So we all should know our laws. um, but I think, yeah, so I think definitely, yeah, like I think just getting out there, being involved, and also just the fact that you're healthfully in charge of something. I think that what drives me, and also the fact that there are so many opportunities in Hong Kong, and hopefully within Asia, for not just referees, but for players, both women and also men, but
Yeah,
also
definitely.
women, because this is also unstoppable women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Since we are talking about unstoppables, right? Okay, we have a
Yes.
Facebook question. Let's take a Facebook question.
Ooh.
Let's look at the question. What is the question? Probably Sabah. Okay. Oh, both of you can
Oh
answer. Okay,
wow.
Safa, you can answer this first. What
Oh.
is your rugby dream, Safa? And I'm gonna ask that to you as
It's
well, Mui.
all right.
Okay, Safa first.
I'll
Safa
go first.
first.
I'll go first.
Yeah,
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 you go
yeah.
So,
first.
my rugby dream would be definitely to increase my knowledge in the whole game in every aspect, and to show girls that they can they can do whatever they put their mind to. They can play rugby, they can referee, they can coach as well, and that it's not just a boy sport like we're told by everyone, including like sports doctors and physios, which should be like
Yes.
I was so confused once when I was told by a physio after my surgery that she thought it's just a boys game, and I just stayed quiet because I got mad. But the whole point is for us to actually educate them, make them watch us play and all of that, and then they can see that girls can actually play as well. So that's my aim, just to inspire young girls and not feel judgment from others or think it's just a boys sport, and to also just tell them that they are unstoppable too.
You know what? I disagree. Whoever told you that rugby is just for
I
men,
know.
because
I
I've
Yeah.
been, I've been, I've been
know.
smoked by girls before on the field.
I know.
You know when
I've
we,
smoked boys. I've smoked
when,
boys myself.
so oh yeah, there you go, there you go. So, nah, man. This sport is both
Yeah.
for male and female alike, and to share with you, in the past, back in my club, Royal Sligo Club, we have a woman playing with men. Her name is Susan Olofsson. She's like my sister. She's like my elder sister. She plays prop. So just imagine, she plays with the men.
Oh.
She can play with men. So I think it's a
Oh.
matter of,
Wow.
I think it's
Oh
a
my
matter of,
God. That's
it's a matter
amazing.
of whether you want it or not. I think we go back
Yeah.
to, when we talk about you, what you guys have been through. Like Sapa, you've had that head injury and been told that you can't play rugby anymore. Mui, your condition, limits you to do whatever, daily stuff. But you guys overcame that and played rugby. You want it, so that's
Mm,
ultimately the thing that what made you, right? So
mm.
it's just great. It's just great that you guys are involved with rugby, and rugby is shaping you to what you are today. Okay, going back to dreams, right? Mui, so what is your rugby dream?
I think I've actually got two sides to this question. So I think on a personal side, on a selfish side, I want to continue being involved in rugby. I want to continue, refereeing. But also on the unselfish side, I want to show girls, and to a slightly lesser extent, boys. I want to show women that you can get involved in the game of rugby. But also, I think also what's very important is that people with disabilities and visible differences, or with other limitations, that there is a place for them in rugby, whether it's on the pitch or whether it's on the sidelines. Because I feel that, in a way, I feel like I can show that because that's what I've done. Because I've had that support to, even though I've got all these limitations, I've been able to be involved in all aspects of the game. And I want to show that, to people who might want to get involved, but they can't for whatever reason, that it is still possible. So I think for women and for also people with disabilities and special needs, I'd like to see if I can try and, drag them into the game as well.
Oh, definitely. I think you'll be a great ambassador for that, definitely, because
Yeah.
in,
Right.
in rugby, of course, if you have a disability, you'll be known by people, and the story that
Yeah,
you guys carry will just definitely inspire other people to get involved with the game.
yeah,
With your, even though with your, I would say disability, that doesn't stop you.
yeah.
So great, guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. The disability is kind of like, it's one of those things where, yes, it can hinder, but at the same time, I think it's also, you can use it to empower others. And that's what I'm kind of hoping to do.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, we have another. I think we're gonna take one last question from Facebook. Let's see, what's the question? Oh, from Ada.
Oh.
Ada, very very proud of
Yay!
you both. It's great. Your parents have been so supportive of your involvement with the game. Do you have any advice for girls whose parents aren't as supportive of them joining rugby? Okay, let's start with Safa first. then we. Safaa.
We've actually talked about this with our coach and have been through it with our coach. And the first thing he always does is try and gain the parents' trust. So keep the parents in the circle, allow them to come to training and see when we train, how we train, the girls we're involved with, try to go out sometimes. And it's just so that it's not just rugby, it's not just training, it's actually like building friendships and everything else. And probably a lot of parents are very scared for, especially girls, to be playing this game. But I'd say our coach does it perfectly, which is gain the parents' trust, um, help them understand the game, invite them to games of other girls playing, other girls telling their story of how they started as well, and how not to get injured, which is why most parents are afraid of. It's for the girls to get injured, especially. And that it's not just a game, it's more than a game. And
Yeah.
once they've seen that it's more than a game, it's actually a family, and your teammates will have your back on and off the pitch, they just completely accept it, and completely let their children actually play the game and have trust in the team as well as the coach. 100%. And it has helped us gain a lot of girls that are actually really good and have been wanting to play but were held back from their parents. And another one is also to allowing their parents to come and watch. They would mostly just start with touch for the longest time until they're confident enough to actually tackle or be put in a game, in an aggressive situation, or in an actual sevens game. So I'd say gain the parents' trust, and then just give them as much time as they want to build that confidence to put themselves forward to play a full contact game or be in a full contact training.
Okay, how about you, Mui? What's your tip?
I think so. Living in Hong Kong, there is the connotation, or there's the idea that rugby is very much an expat sport.
Yeah.
Um, and and you know, there are more and more locals coming into the game, but the thing is, for Hong Kong, there is that sort of idea that rugby, especially within like the local circles, it's kind of like education. Uh,
Mhm.
Education is
Yeah.
more important than playing a sport. I'm hoping I'm not offending any Chinese or anyone on
No,
on this
I
channel.
think it's the whole of
Um,
Asia. It's the whole of Asia. It's the same
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with you. Like, I think like
Yeah.
especially within Asia, I think there's a connotation that sport and anything fun is not really relevant. It's not really relevant in life, and it's just sort of like a fad, or it's something that one shouldn't take so seriously. And I think one of the things that I would like to sort of bring across to people, whether they're parents, whether they're kids, whether they're teenagers, is that rugby is not just a sport, but rugby is a way of life. Rugby is a community. And as I think we have all seen, Safa, that you know, for example, when things are bad, when things are down, you'll find that there's a community waiting to help you. And I think that, yeah, that's what I would also like to, present, is that rugby is not just a sport, it's a life, it's a way of living. And, so I think, yeah, we need to sort of bring that sort of to the fore, especially within Asia, I think, where, there's more emphasis placed on work making money, going to school, over getting bruised and bashed and, running around on a pitch, throwing a ball around. you know, I
Eh,
mean, I don't know, would you agree? Like there is
yes,
that sort
yes.
of,
Hundred
open
percent.
notion.
100%.
But I've been very lucky. But I've been very lucky because lucky in a way because I came into rugby quite late. And when I say late, I mean I came into it properly at about 18. So I kind of had that, chance to, make that decision and make that balance. However, I think a lot of people will agree that my life is now about, you know, chasing the rugby union and also, teaching yoga.
Hey, you know what? 100%. Thank you very much, guys, for that. And probably this tip can be, taken by girls and probably boys as well,
Yes.
especially in Asia. I think a lot of people can relate to this topic, definitely, where education is more important than having fun and whatnot.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, to close the show, I have I have 10, but since we are running out of time, I'm gonna ask five rapid fire questions to each of you. Okay.
Perfect.
One. Okay, I'm gonna start with Safaa first. Safaa first, huh?
Okay.
Okay. If you could buy any type of food now, right now, what would you buy?
A pizza. A pepperoni pizza.
Cool. What color is your toothbrush?
Black and blue.
Who is your favorite rugby hero?
Nile Williams.
Nine Williams. Oh, nice. His
Yeah.
brother just retired today. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you could be any animal, what would it be and why?
Oh my god, a whale. I love swimming. Or a dolphin. Or a dolphin.
Okay, last question. Favorite rugby team and why?
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is um I think New Zealand
Wow.
100%. Yeah, they're
Who?
like and New Zealand, the Black
New
Ferns.
Zealand. Oh,
Yeah.
well, what can I
It's just
say?
the way that the
Well,
it's not because they win most of the time, it's because of the things they do to win. Like they can, like, under so much pressure, they can still be calm and patient with the ball, and everything is just so good to see. And that's what I'd want to be able to do one day.
For sure, 100%. And hopefully they have inspired you to probably do the same. Okay, now
Yeah, for
question for
sure.
me. Question for me. Okay, five questions again, same thing, rapid fire. Okay, first question. Who is your favorite cartoon character and why?
Oh.
Tweety Bird because small and talks a lot and tweets a lot.
Okay, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? Wow, there's a long pause.
That's a really hard question. Um, Probably over to Wales because it's
Wales.
green and there are sheep.
You can go to New Zealand and they have a lot of sheep there. Come on.
I'm Welsh. It's okay. I
Oh,
have an
okay,
excuse.
fine. Okay. Who is your favorite rugby hero and why?
Nigel Owens because he's
He's
overcome
Welsh.
so much. Not about that. Um, he's a yeah, well, yeah, he's Welsh. And he's also overcome like massive adversities and also came out the other side, and yeah, I kind of want to come out the other side as well.
Okay, so another question. What is your favorite job? What is your dream job? Sorry, what is your dream job?
Oh God. My my dream job is probably to do something in rugby, or sports in general, just empowering women and also special needs. Because I think that's one of my biggest things. I know it's a bit of a long answer, but one of my biggest things is being an inclusive, wellness, sporty person.
Nice. Okay, last question.
bring people in.
So, your favorite rugby team and why? Don't tell me it's Wales.
Did I not just answer that already? Okay, so because I'm obviously representing Hong Kong, I'll say Hong Kong. But I will also say Wales because I'm Welsh. But I'm dual. I'm dual. It's Hong Kong and Wales.
Uh, anyway, ladies, thank you very much. You guys have made my job easier, much easier today with all your stories. I think you guys sharing your side of the story to our viewers today is been enlightening. It's been a great, I think, listening journey for all of us, and I think it's a learning process as well for all of us to learn from you, incredible ladies, the things that you have been through. Great, and I hope your rugby journey will continue on for years to come. Definitely. Anyway, thank you very much to our viewers. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for being with us on Asia Rugby Live. Don't forget to tune in next week, same time on Asia Rugby Live. I'm Rod. Take care and good night.
Bye bye.